I'm joined by Tim Crosland from Defend Our Juries. Thank you for coming on, Tim.
Thank you so much for having me back, Crispin. Thank you.
Firstly, I would like to ask what your thoughts are, a few days after that Royal Court of Justice decision, High Court decision.
It's a hugely significant decision. Piles the pressure on Yvette Cooper. I would use the word corruption. I'd use the word corruption when a minister consults the companies who are facilitating genocide, consults the government that is leading the genocide on a matter of British law, and doesn't consult civil liberties organizations and doesn't consult the group affected. That feels like huge inherent bias. And you allow vested interests that level of influence over our democratic process, our legal process. To my mind, that's corruption, and we should not be ashamed of calling it that. The other, a number of significant points coming out of that ruling. We'd already had the UN Human Rights Chief, Volker Turk, say this order is a violation of basic democratic norms, of fundamental rights. We'd had hundreds of lawyers sign letters to the same effect from the Haldane Society, loads of lawyers. But this is different because we know the High Court can be quite a conservative place. That's not where we look to for radicalism or revolution, High Court judges, but we've now got a High Court judge saying arguably this order is unlawful. And so that sharpens the dilemma for the police, because the police must know how it makes them look, that they're arresting hundreds of people for holding cardboard signs opposed to a genocide and expressing support for the people acting to stop a genocide. That's not a look that helps the police with developing relationships in the community. It means they're questioned about their use of public resources. And now you've got the High Court saying, not even sure this order's lawful. There are good grounds to think it's unlawful. So imagine on Saturday, Parliament Square, we have hundreds of people holding those signs. Now the police have got to bring into their thinking, filling up all the cells in London on a Saturday night with people holding cardboard signs, motivated by their desire to stop crimes against humanity. And on top of it, if in November the High Court rules this order unlawful, we're going to be having to pay out to all those people for unlawful arrests. Because if the order was unlawful, then the arrests are unlawful too. So from that point of view, I believe this has come at a really significant moment. There won't be that final ruling from the High Court till November. And it really matters what we do between now and then. The other feature I'd just like to highlight from the judgment was the extent to which the judge, Mr. Justice Chamberlain, was influenced by the people who'd been arrested for holding signs. And he talked about that. He talked about the interference with freedom of expression, peaceful assembly. And if that grows between now and November, that's going to have an active influence on that court process. So it seems to me, and I'll stop in a second, but the choice for each one of us, the choice for all of us, is whether we create a kind of virtuous circle whereby coming together, by coming into a place of courage and standing at this moment with the unions, with Muslim communities who've been on the sharp end of terrorism legislation for so long and prevent the way it's been used to divide and rule communities. If we come together now, and it's happening now, we're having brilliant conversations with all these communities, that's going to influence that ruling in November. And then nobody's going to be prosecuted because the law will fall into complete disrepute.
So what's happening on the 9th of August? How are plans for that? I mean, are you naming where you're doing this action yet?
It's probably no prizes for guessing. It's a central London location near the seat of power. I guess we don't know exactly what plans the police might put in place, but it's going to be in the vicinity of Parliament Square at 1 o'clock. People who want more information, please visit the Defend Our Juries website, defendourjuries.org. There's a page there, Lift the Ban, with all the information you need about the campaign. It gives you information about the legal risks, how to prepare for arrest. It's what's known as a conditional commitment action. It only goes ahead if at least 500 people have signed up, because that way we've got safety in numbers. Nobody's exposed. Nobody's left, isolated. This only happens if there are 500 people doing it. We're in a good place. We're nearly there. But we need a big last push. We want it to be more than 500 people. And that's going to be incredibly powerful. And it's then just sitting silently, people bringing their own good marker pen and piece of paper and writing on that card or paper, I oppose genocide. I support Palestine Action. The same message that hundreds of people have already held. And we do all of that together on Saturday lunchtime. That's a huge step towards regaining the path, regaining our democratic freedoms, and pushing back against this genocidal and authoritarian trajectory that we're on.
Thank you for coming on, Tim. Look, I hope you can stick around for a bit, because I've got someone who's coming on that 9th of August anonymously, who wants to speak on the Zoom. So thank you, Tim.
Thanks
Cheers.
so much, Crispin. Cheers.
Right, so look, I'm going to speak to someone who's coming to London on the 9th from Yorkshire. Mike something.
Yeah,
no picture, obviously, on this, Mike. So what led you to decide to come down all the way from Yorkshire to London on next Saturday?
I think that, well, firstly, may I say, Defend Our Juries have been great in preparing us for this. They've been absolutely fantastic. And also that I'm doing this anonymously, just in case anything hits me back in the unlikely event that I end up in court after next week's action. But what's bringing me down here, apart from the plainly unjust, plainly politically motivated proscription of Palestine Action. I mean, I was around when the IRA had bombing campaigns. That was terrorism. Terrorism is a constant threat, a threat that stays. And at the moment, I feel more terrorized by the government than I do by Palestine Action, I can tell you. And I've never committed any form of civil disobedience before. I've been on rallies. I'm a bit of a lefty. But I've never done anything like this. I've never done anything that would potentially end up with me getting arrested. And frankly, the tipping point is the idea, and we saw it from Starmer earlier on, that we are basically a population to be managed on behalf of powerful business interests, on behalf of other governments, and rather than an electorate to be listened to and to be served. And this is the point where we remind those that in authority over us that they govern by consent, and we do not consent to this. So that's really why I'm down there, because it's an injustice.
I mean, I'm in my 50s, and I'm looking forward to getting to my 70s and possibly 80s, because that might be when I actually become an activist. What do you think about the fact that the people leading this seem to be people who are octogenarians, and You know, it's isn't it fantastic that's happening? Or do you think that's sad? What's your view on that?
I think that a little bit of both, really. I'm not an octogenarian, but I am
Oh,
retired.
right. Sorry, I'm going to have to turn you off. I'm only doing octogenarians.
Yeah, no, I won't be going down there with my tartan vacuum flask and my Piccadilly sandwiches. It's not like that. Um, so no, I mean I'm retired, so I can do this. It won't take my career away. If in the unlikely event I get convicted of what's essentially a terrorist offence, which potentially you can have that for wearing the wrong T-shirt nowadays, which is another reason why we've got to say no. So I can understand it. I think we're in a position to step up the retired people, the older generation, and yeah, it's about bloody time we did. To be honest, we've already pulled up the ladder on the previous generation over the years and been persuaded to. A lot of us, not many people on this call, I have to say. So
Your comment about Piccadilly sandwiches has gone down badly with some octogenarians and think you're stereotyping them.
my
So
apologies.
I just have to tell you, but be careful what you say on that coach on the way down from Yorkshire. Don't say pass me the Piccadilly sandwich.
I
No,
do.
I'm really. No, it makes me feel really good that people are taking this, making this effort. You said you haven't done anything like this before. I can see that younger people are pressured by their responsibilities with mortgages and all this kind of jobs and stuff like that they're worried about, and so we only really have those who have nothing to lose who can do this.
No, absolutely. And I think I mean, basically, all I'm going to be doing is sitting down quietly with a sign that says, I oppose genocide, I support Palestine Action. And, the real heroes are the ones that did it before when there weren't 500 of us. But it's a blinking contest with the police, I think, because they must know by now that if they arrest all of us, apart from the admin and the struggle, there's going to be 800 down in a couple of weeks' time. And then there's going to be 1,000 down. My fervent hope, because I don't want to be arrested, my fervent hope is that they leave us be.
Right. Well,
Because
I'm
I was going to say, either way, the protest works. If they arrest us, they look stupid and they waste their own time and resource. If they don't arrest us, they make the law look unworkable. And given that there's so many of us, and given that the legislation itself is being called into question with a judicial review, I'd really hope I'll be getting back from London on Saturday.
okay. So look, I'm just going to finish by saying that on Sunday, next Sunday, I hope to be speaking to you on here about what happened as an update. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
If I'm back, I'll be here, because obviously all my computer equipment, even my phone, is going. I can't take any of that with me, and that's I'm going to have to retrieve that, because if we were arrested on Section 13, Section 12, which is the stronger offence, the police have a right to raid your home. They can knock your door down and come and take your computer equipment and everything. Most unlikely to happen, but yeah, I've got. If next Sunday, if I am arrested, I'll probably get released in the middle of the night. Got to get back to back home, retrieve my equipment, and then I'll be on. So if I am on,
If you do come on, you'll get a hero's welcome. Yeah.
I'm not the hero here. There's
No, well, one of many heroes. Obviously, you'll just be a representative of the hero.
I'll
The
represent.
hero population. You'll represent the hero population. Look, thank you so much for coming on, Mike.
Yeah, and thank you, and apologies for the Piccadilly gag. I didn't mean to offend.
don't. I mean, you can't say much on here without being pulled up. But thank you, and I'll catch up with you next week.